welcome to a brand new episode of the Woolly Thistle Shopcast, where I'm just going to get it right out there. It is hot, even though the AC's on. This is Maggie, my co-host. I'm Corinne, and I don't think I said my name right there. Corinne. Corinne is what I hear a lot of, and that's fine. I don't usually say it. I'm very rambly today because my head is like, it's mashed up with all this heat and humidity.
Yeah.
Not tolerating it. Yes, I'm scrambled. So welcome to the Woolly Thistle. We are an online yarn shop specializing in wonderful woolly wool, usually non-superwash from Europe, the UK, and here in the States, in Canada. And it's what we love to do. We have a brick and mortar, which we're sitting in here. So if you're ever in the upper valley of New Hampshire or Vermont, we are right on the border of those two states. With highways and everything getting here, so it's an easy journey to come and visit us, isn't it? So come and visit us. And today we have lots and lots to talk about, but before we get into that, how you doing?
I'm doing good.
I'm all over the place.
That's okay. It's summer. I think too for us New Englanders, this is about the time where we do start getting a little like, all right.
Yeah, I had enough.
We wanted it to be hot, but now we don't want it anymore.
It's the humidity. If it wasn't for the humidity, I'd be fine. And I'm working out in the morning, and I did work out, and that was great. But my body has not cooled down properly, even though I've had a shower, stood in front of the fan and all of that kind of stuff. It's just not happening. So my apologies. So let's talk about a little bit of housekeeping to get things going. What is the housekeeping, Maggie? Because I'm scrambled. Well, we're no longer running ads. I'll just fill in that space there
go.
While you're looking. We're no longer running ads. You know this. If you've been here before, welcome back and thank you for being here. And if you're new, thank you for checking us out. I'm not usually this, whatever this is. I'm usually a bit more better.
You're running at a high velocity this morning.
Yes, I am scrambled. So, but anyway, we're not running any ads because we would rather you enjoy the experience of this without ads. And we hope that you support us through watching and telling friends about the Woolly Thistle and maybe visiting the shop as well. So just a word about that. We do have a loyalty program, Maggie, and it's called Pips. And whenever you shop with us, you earn Pips, which turns into money. Pips are points in progress, turns into money off your next order, which who doesn't like a bit of cash off their yarn? It's a really nice thing. Our shipping right now is still, what is it?
$6.95.
$6.95. We did get word that the USPS is putting up their prices. In fact, they probably are effective.
I think they did as of yesterday.
Right.
The time of recording.
So we're looking at what we can do, but I do anticipate there'll be a little price increase. We will send you an email if that's the case. So maybe shop now if you're doing a smaller order and you're paying for shipping. If it's $99 or more, it's free shipping. Also, what else? Well, what else?
Today's episode, we have a couple of guest segments, our regular contributors. We have a segment from Kelsey, a segment from Emma, and a segment with yoga with Kim.
With Kim, yes. So really good segments for you this time. And you might notice too, although it's harder to see yours, Maggie, you might want to pull her in. But our bouncers are wearing finished objects by both of us. We didn't even plan that. But we both have FOs on this episode. And welcome back from your vacation. Last time Jill was here and she did a great job co-hosting, and now you're back.
I'm back.
Yay! Did you have a good time?
We did. We had a really good time. We went to Florida. And
here I am complaining.
So we were there in the Panhandle area, very close to the beach. So for the most part, it was absolutely lovely.
Yes.
It's definitely hot. It's definitely humid. Florida in July is no joke.
Right.
But we had a wonderful visit with family and just hanging out, and it was just a lovely kind of relaxing week. And I only sunburned a tiny bit.
Oh, that's good. Well, I mean, it's nice when the only thing you have to do is maybe walk to the beach and jump in the water. I could do with some of that right now.
Although the water was kind of seaweedy and a little murky. But there was a pool right there. So
perfect.
We had a pool, and it was clean, and it was very
lovely.
nice.
Well, good. I'm glad you're back. It's nice to have you back.
It's good to be back.
Yes. And do you want to announce a winner? We should do that. We usually announce 2 winners in every episode.
Yeah.
And we do have a winner.
So our first winner today of a $25 gift card to the Woolly Thistle is at Lotta Socks.
Yay!
I love to crochet bears, bunnies, critters. I've knit large-ish bears, bunnies, but for me, crochet is so much faster. Ruth's chicken is adorable. So many good things in the shop. So much fun to dream about the next yarn, book, or project. Thank you. Thank you, Lotta
Thank
Socks.
you, Lotta Socks.
If you can email us at info@thewoollythistle.com, put prize winner in all caps, and we will get you your $25 gift card.
Yes, and if you'd like to be in the running for next episode's prize winners, all you need to do is leave a comment down below, give us a thumbs up there, and subscribe to our channel, and you too could be in the running for a $25 gift card, which we give 2 away of every episode when we remember, and we're pretty good about remembering these days because it's in our notes, and we do try to follow our notes now.
We do.
Yeah, so next up, Maggie, then, is what are you wearing?
I am wearing a Woolly Thistle t-shirt.
Hooray!
And that is it. No wool. There's absolutely
There is no wool happening,
It is
but do you want to
too
talk
warm.
about what you're knitting or what you've finished?
Yeah, so I didn't bring any. I have no current whips with me.
Okay.
I have 2 FOs, one
Oh.
little tiny
Oh.
one that nobody's seen.
All right.
And my cabled sweater here.
Beautiful.
I don't know here. I'll see if I can. I'll scooch a little closer
Yeah,
to you and
I'm
bring her
scooching-
in.
sorry.
Ooh, sorry.
You're fine.
So this is the. I have the book. My book's a little worse for wear now. This is from book 425, Finnell 425, the
Very
Rauma.
popular book.
Rauma book, and it's the Magneflettgenser. It's the number 3 pattern in there, and it's knit with Rauma Fivel. And I finished it. This was my first all-over cabled sweater.
It's beautiful.
I think if you're an experienced knitter, this is not a bad first pattern. There's no shaping to it at all, so it's knit bottom up. Don't let that
In
intimidate
pieces?
you. Well, the body's worked all in one. It's worked in the round, and then when you get to under the arms, you split and work the front and work the back. The instructions are a bit pithy. They're very sort of brief, but once you get going, like, you have
Yeah.
everything you need.
Yeah.
And then it's really, even up at the top, it's just worked straight, and then when you add the sleeves, it creates a little drop shoulder.
Which is lovely.
And then sleeves are worked in the round, and then sewn in.
Beautiful.
That's it, and then you pick up the neckline and you knit that in and fold it over.
It looks so good. I can't wait to see you wearing this.
I
when
know.
the weather's cooler.
It'll be a few months before this gets
Yes.
worn. But it does fit perfectly.
Oh, good.
If it's
That's
just the
the
way I
best.
want it, it's a slightly oversized and just cozy, comfy.
Yeah.
I think it's going to get a lot of wear. I love the color. I love that you can still see the cables really well in the navy.
Right, because I remember way back at the beginning of this, you were worried about that.
Yeah.
But then you decided to go with it, and I think it's absolutely spectacular.
Yeah, I did swatch to make sure that I would be happy with the cables. And yeah, I love it.
Good job.
I love it. It's really beautiful.
Yeah. Has your sister finished hers? Because
She's in the home stretch. I think she's on the
Yay,
second
Marie.
sleeve now. She knit a sample knit for us.
Oh, yes, which is here.
Yeah, the Air Tee. So she had
some other knitting to do.
she had some other knitting going on.
So this is the Air Tee,
but
which
yeah.
we'll talk about. But yeah, she knit this for us.
Yeah,
Gorgeous.
so I'm really happy with this.
Yeah, you should be.
And yeah,
Lovely.
I think it was a good choice. I think for a first cabled sweater.
Okay, and has it scratched that itch? You're all done with cables, or do you think you'll be knitting more?
I think it has gotten me over whatever hesitation I had about cables.
How many charts did it have?
It had, I think at the most it had maybe 5.
And did that feel overwhelming?
No, I put in copious stitch markers at the very beginning.
Yeah.
So that it kept me straight as to where I was. There was no guessing. So do yourself that favor. Put in the stitch markers. After a while, I needed less of them. And so I was able to remove some of them.
But what I think the point I'm trying to make is the number of charts doesn't make it complicated, because as soon as you realize you're going from this line on this chart, moving to the next motif, moving to the next one, you're just following.
And I put a little sticky note. I think I've taken it out of my book, but I put a sticky note that had the sequence.
Yeah.
So 1 3 4 5 4 3 1.
Yes.
So that I could just at a glance,
Quickly
without
go.
flipping back and forth to the other page to say
Yes.
which one's now, which one now.
Yes.
So that got me going, and then after a while, you don't even need.
Right.
You just know it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Really good. Really, really good. Beautiful.
I did keep. I have some of that repositionable highlighter tape.
Yeah.
And I I did not want to forget what row I was on, and I was still not very good at figuring out on some of the cables which row I was on.
That is a weird thing about cables. You think it's obvious, but it's really not.
No, especially like this horseshoe one. I kept thinking that I'd be on the right row. So I just kept my tape moving.
Yeah.
So it was a little fiddly in that way, and I didn't want to relax about it because I really wanted. I'm like, I've gone so far without, twisting them the wrong way or doing anything like that I kept moving that tape.
Good job.
But yeah,
Excellent.
no, really happy with it.
Wonderful. It's really nice. I can't wait to see it on.
Yeah.
So, do you want to show us your other FO, or do you want?
Sure, it's just a silly little thing.
Yeah, let's have a look.
So we got in this book a couple weeks ago, a year of amigurumi friends, and I couldn't resist. Especially Ruth. Once Ruth brought in her hen, which was in the last episode, I was like, all right, fine. Twist my arm. And you'll see over here, there's a sloth next to an elephant. And my oldest really likes sloths. So I was like, so I went a little off script. So the pattern, I learned a couple things with this, which is really great. First of all, try reading the book.
Maggie, you often make that observation.
I know. Well, I charged in and I was like, well, I know how to do amigurumi. So you'll see this is a close-up of him. She wanted him all one color, like his sweater is crocheted in. But she's like, can you make him naked so that then we can make him clothes? And I said, we.
The royal we.
And then she wanted overalls. So I just kind of made up a pattern for overalls.
Well done.
But he was so cute. He was so sweet. But you can see how the lines in the pattern are very straight.
The lines
like the line for the face motif, whereas mine, it kind of skews.
Oh, I
so
see.
So then I was reading in the back after he was mostly done. There's a stitch guide in the back. It gives you all the info you need. It's a great book. But she talks about how if you're doing a standard V-stitch crochet, there will be some skewing and torsion because of the... I wasn't paying attention to that. So I did notice it when I was doing his face, and I was just like, amigurumi. But apparently there's a whole different stitch you can, with how you do the wrap and the yarn overs. And she gives you the instructions, and you can see from her thing that the lines are quite straight.
Interesting.
So then
you can improve on perfection.
Right. So he's still adorable,
Yes.
even though he's a little twisted.
I would not have noticed, though. I would not have pointed that out.
No, and my older daughter loves him, and he's really, really cute. She hasn't named him yet.
Well, thank you, Jilly, for letting us
his little
see him.
His little claws are the thing that kill me.
Aww.
Like you actually make like his little claws there. Adorable little sloth. So I wanted to test out though the different stitch, and you can see like it's still mine's still skewed a little bit, but it will give you straighter lines.
Interesting.
So I'll keep practicing it. But
and
then Ruth brought in last week. She did another one. She brought another. She's got the hen, and then she did the mama goose. So we're actually going to have kits for, we'll see when they're live. You can check the shop and see if they're live now, but most likely it'll be in the next week. So get on our email list. But there'll be a kit with enough yarn for this lady and the little hen that Ruth crocheted.
And she's doing this with Jameson and Smith.
Yeah. So you can crochet choice with whatever fingering weight yarn you want. And I say fingering weight because that's what the pattern calls for, but really you could crochet it with any weight you want. You just end up with a bigger toy.
Yeah.
So we'll have a kit that'll have enough yarn for both of these guys. They're so cute.
She is precious.
Yeah.
So there we go.
Really, really cute.
Oh, really cute.
Yeah. So that's it. That's what I have.
That's what you have.
Yeah. On my vacation, I did finish a pair of socks.
Oh, that's good. Did you gift them?
I did. I did. One of my brother-in-laws. It was his birthday, and he had expressed interest in socks, so he got a pair of socks. He was delighted. I think I knit so much on vacation that my arm was actually sore.
Really?
Yeah, it actually woke me up.
Oh, wow.
So that was one of the reasons for the crochet, is like, you know what, I'm going to mix it up.
Yeah.
Just the different, different motions, different muscles. And now my arms feel much better. So I think just getting a little variety.
That sounds scary.
It wasn't my wrists. It was actually like this part of my arm.
Almost Tennessee elbow?
Yeah, almost like a tendonitis thing. But we got home, and after copious of knitting on the airplane, many
so
airplane
naughty.
rides. Yeah, my arms were really sore, and I was sleeping, and they woke me up. And I was like, oh, that's not good.
That is not good.
So I rested them by crocheting instead.
Yeah.
And feel much better. So,
There we go.
Yeah, he's really cute.
Well done, you.
Thanks.
Do you want to see what I'm knitting?
I
or have
do,
knitted?
yes.
Let's budge back up a wee
Yeah,
bit
here,
this
let's
way.
move this guy.
So I also have my FO, which is the Billy cardigan by Sari Norland, and she is done, and I'm really happy with her. She fits as well. I'm just gonna bring her in. So she's a raglan top-down cardigan. I put our thistle buttons on, and this was really a pleasure to knit. I do enjoy cables. I've knit other cable garments, and I do enjoy them. This was challenging for me in as much as I am a bit of a perfectionist when I want to be, not generally, but sometimes. And I redid the raglan shaping over and over and over because I didn't like how it was looking. But I think we're at a place now that I'm really content with how it looks. And it was just a matter of, being tidy enough for me, really. Also, I didn't read the pattern when I started, thought I was knitting bottom up and didn't understand why I only had a few stitches, only to realize that I was actually knitting down. That's basic. Basically bad knitting etiquette there. I knit this in Retrosaria Brusca, which is a DK weight yarn. It's what I would describe as a very strong yarn. I mean, just look at these cables popping. It's lovely.
I think they actually say it's worsted weight.
Oh, I keep thinking it's DK. You're right. I think
it is a lighter side.
Yeah. And it fits. This fits really well. I actually, again, had started with one size. By the time I got to the bust, I realized that, maybe I should be knitting a wider size. And I had extra row gauge to get down, so I just used that space to get to the next size, and she fits really well. And I love her. There are mistakes, there just are, but right now none of them are jumping out at me, so that's good. So
it's nothing that bothers you then?
Nothing that bothers me. It's a little bit there. I think I might have put an extra row in there before twisting. See that? But I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
So I can't wait to wear this. I think this will get a lot of wear. I think it's very practical, and I'm really happy with her fit. I think Sari Norland writes a really good pattern. It was very thorough. It was user error whenever there was any. And this is in her Ravelry store, so you can buy just the pattern for this. There are not many raglan cardigan cables out there, so I would recommend this if that's what you're going for.
Yeah.
So I finished that. Hooray. We have the sock sprint starting when this goes live. It'll be starting today. Because I can. I've already started. I cast on, and I'm doing the Lochside sock in our new Zinnia colorway, which I love. So this is in the sock bag, which we'll mention in a bit. But yeah, so I'm really enjoying it. It's a broken rib. And so that's really good. I'm enjoying that. I've just got to start turning creating the heel flap.
Are you going to do shorter leg then?
Yeah, I think so. And then I cast on my vest, which I think we're at the end of.
Yes, we finished that cowl. But for those of you who are also like me, my whip is at home because I've made no progress. It's the same. It was not good travel knitting, so it hasn't made progress, but it'll be getting a lot of my focus now that little Mr. Sloth is done. Yeah, and we had a lovely Zoom call for the cast-off party, so thanks if you were there. I enjoyed meeting many of you and seeing your FOs. So this is what I just cast on, and I'm doing it in Rauma Fivel. The name of the pattern?
All Seasons Vest by Noriko Ichikawa. Noriko Ichikawa.
We can have Erica put it on the screen.
Yep, and it's a really plain vest. However, the knitting of it is very interesting, and I've made quite a bit of progress, but I've got adventures to share, as I always do. So you start with the neck on the back, and then you do some shaping for the shoulders, and then you knit down and put it on waste yarn, and then you turn around and you pick up stitches from the shoulder seam and you knit down doing a V-neck shape all the while, and then you come over and do the right hand side. And this is good. I should be knitting with Fivel, I thought I picked up the exact same color in strip yarn, and I'm not sure. What do you think of this gauge for Fivel?
So is this actually Stricka yarn?
I don't know.
It kind of feels like Stricka yarn.
I keep thinking it should look bigger. So I got the stitch gauge right with whatever it is.
Yeah, I mean, I would keep going. This looks like Stricka yarn. Having just knit a whole sweater in Fivel, like
you don't think this is Fivel?
I don't think it's Fivel.
That makes sense because when I picked up a ball last night, I saw it was Stricka yarn, and I'm like, wait, what? So
yeah.
I think well, I'm getting gauge this way, but this way I'm actually getting less rows than she did.
Okay.
Which is bizarre because she's knitting. Well, I can't remember what she's using. Actually. I would have expected to be, hold on, where does she say yarn? DK weight yarn. Oh, I am supposed to be knitting. This is what I do. I'm right.
Yeah, you're right.
Yay!
Keep going.
Why did I think I was to knit this in Fivel then?
I don't know. I think originally, I heard you talking about thinking about using Fivel.
Yeah.
But maybe then once you found the pattern.
Oh, maybe. I don't know. So, all right. Well, this is good. We're back on track, but I don't get row gauge. So I am only getting 25 rows per 4 inch. She's getting 29.
Okay.
So I've had to do math because her instructions are knit 10 rows like this, do this, and it's all by the row. Okay. And you should have 10 inches at the end.
Right.
Well, I had more like 15.
Is there a schematic, though, that you can switch it up?
Yes. So I've been doing math and fudging how to get to the right measurement, but in fewer rows.
Gotcha.
And so we'll see how that goes because down the front there's a lot happening on every single row that I wasn't comfortable just fudging it, but I think it'll be okay. It is what it is. It's a very interesting knit. I've never knit a garment with this construction before.
Okay.
So it's interesting. I'm learning some stuff, and as usual, I haven't read the pattern properly or even know if I'm knitting with the right weight yarn. So that's embarrassing, but hey ho, I am, as it happens.
Yeah.
By a happy accident. So that's everything I've got right now.
Sometimes too, once past Maggie has made the decision, I don't have to think about it anymore. So sometimes you can just get busy going ahead.
Because I took this to Scotland with me on that trip, and it was on the bus with me, but I just never could really cast on. There was always a lot going on, and I was knitting on Billy here. So so it's been a long time since I decided to knit with that, but that's really funny. Don't know why I thought it was Fivel. Hey ho. So that's what I'm knitting on. That's everything I've got going right now, and it's a wonder I'm knitting at all right now. So we'll just be grateful for small moments of air conditioning. Yes. What's next, Maggie? Should we go to a segment?
Yeah, let's go to a segment.
Let's go to Emma, who has a beautiful new sock design in Rambler to show you, and she's also going to be up here this weekend. So let's go there, and we'll see you on the other side.
Hi everyone. Happy July. It is so hot on the East Coast. I hope everyone's really enjoying their summer so far, in the Northern Hemisphere at least. And I hope, everyone's just really enjoying their knitting and getting ready for the sock sprint, which by the time this airs, I think starts like today or tomorrow. So I hope you're as excited as I am, because I've been knitting a lot of socks for the last few months and been a little afraid that my sock mojo would leave me before the sock sprint and then I wouldn't knit any socks, but I don't think that's going to happen. I'm really looking forward to knitting some socks. I haven't decided which pattern I'm going to knit yet, because the pattern I was initially going to knit for the sock sprint, which was my Lizzie Bennett socks pattern in Rambler, I already did. So actually that's what I'm here to show you today. I have a new sample of this new pattern that I just released, my Lizzie Bennett socks. So this is my 5th or 6th Jane Austen character pattern, sock pattern. I also designed my Emma Woodhouse socks in Rambler right when Rambler got released. So my sample of the Rambler socks and Emma Woodhouse socks was white because we didn't even have dyed colors yet. But this sample of my Lizzie Bennett socks, which is just kind of like a simple lace pattern on the front in these 3 columns, plain on the back. They're a little creased here because they've been on the sock blockers, heel flap and gusset wedge toe. These are knitted in the golden fern color of Rambler. Right now there's only one size available in the Ravelry pattern, but I will be updating that to include a larger size as well. So this is a 64 stitch sock. So I think I'm gonna try, we'll be updating it for 72 stitches, but if you wanna knit this in a slightly larger size, you can just go up a needle size. If you think that the 64 stitches is too small. So I'm really excited about these. They're super woolly, and Rambler makes really nice socks. Just like really cozy. You know they're gonna be hard wearing. It's 100% wool. Rambler is a Woolly Thistle yarn. This is the colorway Lichen. 3-ply. It's more of like a plump sock yarn. So if you're used to knitting with commercial superwash sock yarns, this is a little bit more closer to an 80-20 in the thickness rather than a 75-25, which is a lot thinner. And it is Dorset, Corriedale, and Gray Romney. Most of it is Dorset. A little bit of Corriedale, a little bit of Gray Romney to give it that just oomph of grayish kind of heathered color, which is almost not noticeable, but just gives it a little more depth, and it's really fun. So I'm looking forward to knitting another pair of socks in Rambler. I'm not sure what pattern I'm gonna use, like I said, but I'm excited anyway. So I am really happy to have been done with this pattern and have it out into the world, and you can find it on Ravelry. The other thing that I've been trying to do in the past like week is I saw one of the Facebook prompts on the Woolly Thistles page, and people were just you know, to discuss. There's prompts over there every day, and they're awesome and they're really interesting, and they get me thinking often. And it said something about, what's your oldest whip? You know, how old is it? And you know, what is it? Why haven't you finished it? I've just been thinking about this. And so I decided to pull out my oldest whip, which is a pair of mittens that I started knitting in 2018, in the summer of 2018. And these are knitted in a very thin weight of yarn, like fingering weight yarn, probably similar to Jamieson and Smith or Jamieson's of Shetland in terms of how thin it is. And the pattern is a Latvian pattern that I used on the back of the palm, and then another Latvian pattern on the front of the palm. And you can see that I used several different colors of blue, and I faded it. And I knitted this mitten on a size 0 needle. Also need to make the thumb quite a lot longer. It's too short. And the reason that I never finished them was because the size 0 needle just really hurt my hands when I was working with it, or working with it too often, I guess. And I remember having to, like, I was trying to have compression gloves on my hands so that I would, you know, just try to get the circulation going. I sometimes thought maybe it was my wrist that was hurting, and I tried to wear a brace on my wrist for a while, but nothing really helped except not knitting so often on the size 0 needles. But I had started the second mitten. It started, as you can see, I've already made a mistake. I forgot to close the top of this little motif here, but I'm gonna duplicate stitch these two spots. So this one was about half done. I got very little done of this third color. I had a couple rounds done. So basically I was right past the thumb split. So that was convenient because I didn't want to have to try and reproduce what I'd already done with the thumb on the other mitten, even though I was probably gonna edit it anyway. But I finished this. It took me a few days, and it did hurt a little bit, but my hands are okay, I'm happy to report. So I just feel really happy to finish these mittens, and naturally I'm like, ooh, I wanted to make another pair and, you know, make myself hurt again. So I think I'm gonna have to restrain myself, but I did actually have a really good time finishing this, and it felt really satisfying to get through such a deep whip. And you can see I have to close the top of the mitten. I can tell how old, I would be able to tell how old these were even if I didn't know, because the Kitchener stitch I did at the top of this mitten is atrociously bad, and I don't think I learned how to do Kitchener stitch properly until 2019. So that would be a dead giveaway. You can't really tell, but it's bad. So I'm gonna be fixing that thumb and knitting this thumb. So I'll probably knit this thumb first, and then I will fix this one so it is the right length. And there's, I didn't use a specific pattern for this. I used a book of Latvian mitten patterns, just like charts that I had. But I think that you can get Latvian mitten kits at the Woolly Thistle, which is kind of amazing. And they are really fun and satisfying, even though, you know, they definitely demand a lot of patience. So if you've never knitted one of these, but you're a fan of pretty small needles, I would suggest challenging yourself to knit something in really, really fine color work. I don't think I would ever go down to a 00 needle, but this was pretty addictive, so I would consider doing it again. Maybe on a size 1 needle. Maybe I would just, you know, edit the mitten pattern to be not quite so fine in detail. I could go down a few stitches and go up a needle size, because I'm pretty comfortable on a size 1. I knit all my socks on a size 1 needle. But maybe also my hands didn't cramp up so badly this time because I'm so used to knitting on a size 1 sock needle so often. So who knows? But I think that the key is to be patient with yourself and not to try and push yourself too hard when you're working on a project like this. So, you know, only work on a few rows a day or rounds a day if it's hurting you to do more than that. But eventually, if you're consistent, you'll finish them. So I'm really excited to just have this whip done and dusted and be able to wear these mittens next winter, because I've really wanted to do that for like the last 7 years, but I just haven't been able to bring myself to actually finish them. So if I can do it, you can do it. If you need a challenge this summer, finish your oldest whip, or maybe your second oldest whip if you just can't do your oldest whip. And you know, especially if it's like still a whip for some kind of emotional reason that just aren't quite ready to deal with yet, that's okay. So I'm excited to be finishing these up. I found another Latvian mitten, actually. There was only one of them, but I don't think it's in this. Oh yeah, here it is. So I would have to knit the second one. This one doesn't have a side thumb. It has a slightly easier thumb, so I might be able to do that. But this one also is knitted on size 0 needles, so maybe I'll do this one, and then maybe I'll shut the door on those size 0s for a few more years. But this is pretty funky. Latvian patterns are so interesting, and they're so detailed, and knitting on such small needles, it's so much fun. So yeah, maybe I've rediscovered my passion for very fine color work. We'll see. I have another pair of mittens that's a whip that I would like to finish as well. I started like a couple months ago, so much more recently. So that also seems like it might get finished. So I hope everyone's doing great. I'm going to be at the Woolly Thistle, when you're watching this, probably tomorrow, on Saturday the 19th. Yeah, 19th. And I'm super excited to be there for the birthday celebrations. I will be there with my sock samples and anything else that I'm working on. So maybe some Fair Isle whips. And yeah, who knows? I'm excited to pack my suitcase full of whips and see what kinds of things that I decide to knit on vacation. So hopefully I see you there. And if not, I'll see you virtually next month. Bye.
Thank you, Emma. I love your new sock. That is beautiful. I will be knitting that. I'll put it in my sock queue. It's really nice. And it looks good in that golden fern colorway too. And we're going to see you now. When this goes live, is she going to be here tomorrow?
I think she's going to be here tomorrow.
Yeah.
So I will actually be here with her in the shop, and we'll have one of our other coworkers. So feel free to stop by, come say hello to Emma.
She's going to have a trunk show of all her stuff that she's ever knitted in yarns from the Woolly Thistle. So I think that'll be really fun.
Yeah. I'm sure she would delight in helping you with your project,
pick colors, pick yarns. Yeah, she's fantastic. So come and meet her. She's great.
Yeah.
Okay, and it is our birthday month, so
It is.
she's helping us celebrate. Okay, so sock bags continue. We have 4 different sock bags.
Blue, green.
That's right. Sorry, I just
That's
gravitate to the hot colors. Here is green. We got lime green, and we have this lovely blue. And these 2 are our cool summer nights, which I could use, and these are our hot summer days, which is what we've got. So let's have a quick look inside, because it doesn't hurt to show you again what's in here. Yeah. We have a brand new Rambler color Deep Seafarer, which is this dark neutral navy blue, which I think will go with all the colors in the rainbow of Rambler. Do you want to show yours?
Sure. Well, we've already seen the color of Rambler.
That's right.
It's the one you're knitting with. It is our zinnia colorway.
It's lovely. Really love it. And actually somebody on the Zoom call commented that it's very autumnal too, which it hadn't actually occurred to me, but it is.
No, yeah.
It's good for all the seasons.
Multi-seasons.
Then I have a lovely ball of West Yorkshire Spinners, which is their sock yarn, and it's 75-25 wool nylon, and the wool part is a big chunk of 35% blue face Leicester, which is really nice.
And that is a super wash.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
What do you have?
I have 2 skeins of John Arbon's Exmoor sock. And
Gorgeous.
this is 60% Exmoor Blueface, 20% Corriedale, 10% Swartblaze, and 10% nylon.
And a fantastic sock yarn. We really like it.
And this one is also, the wool has been treated.
Yeah.
So it is a super wash.
Yeah, a little bit. And in my bag, I have this gorgeous skein of hand-dyed Alegria from Manos de Uruguay. I'm never sure how to say it. Del Uruguay. Beautiful, just and soft. And this is a sock yarn that is 75-25. Where is
I
that?
believe so. I think it might be on the back. Yep.
Yeah. Is that what it is? I can't. Oh yeah, there you go. 75 merino superwash. So a really soft sock yarn for those that love that.
And in the hot summer days, you have lichen and lace.
Yeah.
Their fingering weight, it's an 80-20 sock yarn, 80% machine washable organic merino, and 20% recycled nylon.
Really nice.
And it is hand dyed by Megan from Lichen and Lace.
So these 2 skeins are all different from each other in the dyeing. And then lastly for yarn in my sock bag, I have 2 skeins of beautiful Garthenor that we collaborated with. You can see that they put our little logo on there, which is just so fun. And this is 2 skeins, 250-gram skeins of their sock yarn. This particular one is, let's see, sourced from farms in the Scottish Highlands, Southwest Wales and South Wales. And it's 90% Romney, 10% Hebridean. It's organic and no superwash.
Yeah. And the last yarn in my bag here is from Shopcast. It is their Admiral yarn. It is just a really nice feeling woolly, 75-25.
I like it.
It does. It feels really nice.
Yeah.
And I think it'll hold up really well for your socks. So.
And going with our theme, yes, and here we go.
Yay.
Lovely, lots of yarn. Going with our theme, we have otters who are just, knitting in a river, enjoying the good life, which is lovely. And we have some extra goodies in here. We've got some die cut little otter stickers knitting. You can put that.
So cute.
I know, you can put that on your water bottle or on your laptop. We've got a notions tin for you to keep your notions mobile. Very easy, open and close.
And a pattern suggestion card. So each bag does come with a pattern designed by Corinne.
That's right.
But then also there are other suggestions on the card, including a suggestion for one non-sock item that you can use sock yarn for.
Right, exactly. So this, while we are calling it sock bag, you really can knit lots of different things with this yarn. So that's what we have, and there's still some available. So go check them out. Okay, and do we need to say that, we choose the colors, the yarns that we've shown you will be what's in the bag, but the colors may be different based on what our choices are.
Yeah,
If you trust us to do that.
Yeah, we do a good job at that, and we enjoy doing that. And so far, the feedback has been that you guys have loved what we've put together. So
Yes, and
really
if you
great.
have been good enough to purchase one of these already, please do share it on social media using the hashtag TWT or the Woolly Thistle sock bag, and we will get to see your purchase. Also, you can just go into the Facebook group or on Ravelry and show us what colors you got in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And while we're talking sock knitting and sock sprinting, we have a couple of books that we just want to highlight quickly. If you are new to socks or just want to have like sort of an exhaustive basic book, The Sock Project by Summer Lee. I've talked about my affection for this book more than once.
Yeah.
I think this is also one of Kelsey's favorites.
Yeah.
She walks you through everything. It is a great resource. For whether you're a beginner sock knitter or you've knit lots of socks like I have, there's just lots of great value in here. She gives you patterns for basic socks, all kinds of heels, and then walks you all the way through different patterns and techniques,
it's just pretty
including
as well. So colorful.
I love her. It is. Her color combinations are really interesting, and I just like how she put things together.
Yeah.
Like it's a great way to just use up little bits of yarn on your toes and cuffs. And, so that's an excellent resource. We also have Charlotte Stone. We have both of her books in the shop. Her original first book, Charming Colorwork Socks, and her second book, Joyful Colorwork Socks.
This looks great. Lots of nice colorwork charts.
Yeah.
Good pictures.
Some too that are like all over colorwork, and other like these hearts. I think these hearts are really cute. But then there's also, I don't know if this has a, this one's really cute. The
faces.
chickens with the eggs. They're just really adorable. I knit those, the
cat ones.
The cat ones. Not those cat ones, the other cat ones.
Oh, is there another one?
Yeah, just right. I think you went right by it.
There's little dogs.
Oh, maybe that's what it was. There's little dogs. She has a similar one that has little cats. Really adorable. So those are available in the shop.
Just in.
And then fairly new here at the shop is the Sock Knitting Club from Amirisu. And there are some really gorgeous
Those
patterns in
cover
this book.
socks are really lovely.
Yeah.
Caught my
Lots
eye right
of-
away.
Lots of sock inspo in this book.
Yeah.
So this is new here. Lacy patterns.
Amirisu always does such a nice job with their publications.
I love it. Little cabled socks.
Yes, if you want to start out on cables and just make socks, that's a good way to start.
Yeah, cute little flower. Yeah.
And the cover, I mean, look
The
at
cover's really
that.
beautiful.
Look at those socks. Makes you want to knit them.
And this is a lot more than just sock patterns, but this is In the Footsteps of Sheep by Deborah Zawinski.
Yeah.
One
of my favorite books.
Yeah, there is a sock pattern in here.
Yeah.
Do you want to
There's
tell
quite a
little?
few.
There are.
So yeah, this book is it tells you about Deb's journey through Scotland, where she was walking and camping throughout her trip. And along the way, she would find henty leggets, which are little bits of wool stuck in fence posts and thistles and all that kind of stuff. And as she walked, she would spin them with a drop spindle, and then she would knit socks. And so the patterns in here actually don't rely on you doing the same thing. You can actually order your sock yarn, but she has the patterns that she knitted along this trip.
Yeah.
It is just a wonderful pilgrimage through Scotland by someone who really enjoyed writing about it. And we've had this book for a long time, and it still sells like, crazy, because it is such a good book. So lots of socks in there.
Yeah, so all of these are available now in the shop.
So lots of socks going on, because when it's hot, it's nice not to be knitting with something that's resting in your lap so much. That's why we like socks here in the summer. But also, if you're in the New England region right now, do come and visit us as part of the Great Northern Yarn Haul. And you can find out more about it on the website. It's our first year participating. It's for the month of July, and it is for you to travel around anywhere you want to, but it includes Vermont, New Hampshire and Maine, and there are lots of prizes and giveaways for managing to do maybe all the shops in New Hampshire, or all the ones in Vermont, or all the ones all over. So please do come and visit us. There is a lovely bag that you get when you purchase your passport and things like that. So we are seeing lots of new people coming and visiting, which is so nice. So welcome. And let's see, our birthday party is tomorrow. We mentioned that Emma will be here, and so come and visit and help us celebrate.
We are also in August taking place in the I-91 Shop Hop. That will take place from August 8th to August 16th. We will have daily door prizes. You can get your passport and tote online, and then when you come, we will stamp your passport. Hours are Monday through Saturday. We'll be open 10 to 5, and that Sunday we'll be open 11 to 4.
So a lot more hours for you to come and enjoy. So come and visit us, and we'd love to see you. That's next month. Should we go to another segment?
Yeah.
Let's go to Kelsey, who is talking about knitting flat. So I think it's a great conversation, and we'll see you on the other side.
Hey, it's Kelsey coming in to talk to you a little bit now. yes, I am sitting on the floor, first of all, and yes, I am just wearing a light t-shirt because it is hot here, and even sitting on the couch, it was like too hot on my skin. So we've had a hot couple of weeks here for us, not for some other people in the country, but when we hit 90 in Vermont, I get grumpy, and I think a lot of Vermonters get pretty grumpy. So what I wanted to talk to you just for a few minutes today is something that I think is not very popular at the moment, but I wanted to talk a little about the pros and cons of knitting flat. So everybody, I think, knows the cons of knitting flat. So things like color work is tricky knitting flat. You have to seam if you are knitting a garment and you're knitting flat. If you knit stockinette flat, it can curl. If you knit stockinette flat, you have two very distinct fronts and backs, if for a scarf or something like that. So I understand, and for the most part I also knit in the round. I knit on circular needles most of the time, like I think most people tend to these days. But I've been working on a project that is not unlike a lot of other sweaters, knit from the top down and knit flat, first for shoulder shaping and then for the front and back before you join to knit in the round for the rest of the body. And it just pointed out a couple of things to me that I wanted to talk about for a second. So this is a cotton yarn, so it is not a Woolly Thistle yarn, but I'm knitting the Colette Tee by Sari Nordland. This is, if you can see, it's in sort of a slate gray, dark gray color. So if you can see it, it has this cool pattern, sort of knit, some eyelets and some, oh God, you can't see it at all. Oh, you have to, maybe you can see it there. Some columns of cables and some eyelets. It's got sort of the European shoulder shaping behind. And as I said, the top is knit flat. And so what I wanted to mention is not necessarily the pattern, which is a nice pattern. It has been fun to knit, but the pros of knitting flat. Knitting flat it felt like it went so much faster because you're only knitting this far across your shoulders or across the body, the back or the front, and then you turn and then you do something else. And then because you're only going half the distance in each row, that you would be for your whole body, you're making a lot more vertical progress than you would be if you're going around and around and around. And I feel this most acutely at the moment because now I am down here at the ribbing at the bottom that is knit in the round. And it's a lot of stitches and it's knitting around, and I feel like I sit here and I knit forever, and then I'm like, where is that stitch marker? And I'm only halfway around the round. So psychologically, I think for me, there's a benefit to knitting flat instead of in the round. The other thing is knowing what row you're on. Knitting cables, I lose track of what row I'm on. I just do. I knit my cable and then I knit, and especially these because there's a long distance. You can't see it very well, but like right here, there's a pretty long distance between these cables because it's more of a vertical column with a twist than sort of a shaped cable. Yeah. So there's a pretty long distance, I don't remember how many rows in between, and I'll just be knitting away, la la la, and then forget. I'm like, oh my goodness, where am I? So when you get lost and you count and you think, where is this off by one? Is this off by one? The cabled stitch always has to be on the front side, at least in this pattern, and in most cabled patterns. The cabled stitch was always on the front, on the right side of the knitting. So when you're knitting and you're on the back side, you know you're not cabling. You're just going. You just cable. I don't care. I don't need to count. And if you, depending on what row you started with, a wrong side row or a right side row, you know if it has to be an even or an odd number to when you have to cable. Yeah. So then that doesn't sound like a big deal, but it kind of is, because then you know if you're counting, and it's hard for like to count sometimes which one's the cabled row and how many have I knit. If you knit or if you count, and you get to 13 and you needed it to be an even number, or you got to 10 and you needed it to be an odd number, you know, like I'm off by one or the other. And especially in a thicker weight like this is a decayed or worsted weight yarn, that's a 2-row repeat. You can see a lot more than a 1-row. So you know, oh, I'm off by 2, so I must need to do 2 more, or I must be already where I need to be because it looks pretty close. Where 1 row, it feels like it can look pretty close and be wrong. Where 2 rows, you really sort of have a bigger chance of being able to visually see, am I too short or too long on what I'm doing? Hopefully that makes some sense. The other thing that is not in this particular pattern, because it's not, it was at the beginning, it isn't now, knitting flat generally for a garment means you're knitting in pieces. Knitting in pieces means you're only carrying 1 piece at a time. So at the beginning, at the top here, I was only carrying this section and only the one side, only the back of this section. Perfect, travel, it's great. Now, look at this, I'm carrying all of this together with me, where if I had been knitting it flat, I would have only ever been carrying half of it. Like if I'm knitting the back panel, it's only the back, it doesn't include the front. And then when I'm done with it, I can put it somewhere, and then I can carry a different piece with me. So when I hear people say, oh, I can't knit this garment because I need it to travel with, or I'm going on a trip and I can't knit a sweater when I'm going, or whatever version of that, that can be true, and especially it can be true in larger sizes and in bulkier yarns, and knitting around. Because look at that, it's a big I mean, it's almost the full thing. It's almost the full shirt, where you would never be carrying more than half if you were knitting it flat. Does that make sense? I hope it does. So I have previously thought like, oh, I need to be knitting socks. I need to be knitting a hat. I need to be something small when I travel. And now I'm thinking, well, I could actually knit the sleeve of a sweater, or the back of a sweater, or the front half of a cardigan, or whatever it is. Good for travel. The next thing is, if you're doing a textured stitch, there's a lot of sort of horizontal textured sweaters out there right now. I can't think of all their names, but there's a good number that are doing this, where it's horizontal stripes of sort of garter stitch with a twist. Maybe it's garter stitch and then ribbing and then eyelets and then a cable or a mock cable or something, and then garter stitch or whatever. The more garter stitch you have and the more you're knitting it in the round, the more purling you're doing. I am fine with purling. I don't hate purling. Some people truly hate purling. Some people truly do. If you run into a sweater that looks like it has a lot of texture like that, it's going to be a lot less purling if you knit it flat, because you're going to be knitting this way and then knitting this way, and then you're getting effectively garter stitch. And then when you're putting in some of these other things, especially something like 2x2 ribbing or whatever, it doesn't matter if you're knitting it flat or in the round, it still knits and purls in both directions. So if you are knitting a sweater that you don't like purling and it has a lot of garter stitch, you're going to be in a lot better shape if it is knit flat. So those are my couple of thoughts about knitting flat and knitting in the round. I have knit a few sweaters flat. I haven't done it for a little bit just because a lot of popular patterns are not knit flat these days. I will say I have knit a sweater with color work flat. That's a learning curve for sure. It is doable. You're just having to think of carrying your floats towards you instead of behind the fabric. So your floats, if you're floating the stitch, you want your float to be loose towards your body instead of loose kind of away from your body. So it's just flipping your brain around, which can be really tricky, especially when you're hot, like me, when you're tired, when you're just not focusing, when you don't want to focus, lots of different reasons. Anyway, color can be tricky, but totally doable. Especially sometimes there are patterns that are, called bohus style. So it's a knitting sort of modern movement from Sweden, B-O-H-U-S, and they incorporate pearls into their color work. So it's not, most of the time you see a stockinette fabric when you do color work. Bohus knitting does some purling in the color work. If you've knit the Lunenburg sweater, that's a similar style. So color work that includes purling you would have practiced doing that because you would be purling it. The floats are still on the back, which is different, but it's something that you could try knitting flat pretty easily because you're doing your purls and you're just switching what side you're floating your stitches on. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. Traveling, garter stitch, speed, and satisfaction with getting more visual done. Like it looks like, oh my God, it's growing so fast. Learning to seam. Seaming adds structure. Oh, I should talk about that. Seaming can add a lot of structure. Seaming your sweater can add a lot of structure where those seams are, because those are not going to flex the same way that a knit stitch is. So knitting will always flex. It could bias. There's all these things that knit fabric can do. Where adding a seam sort of stops a lot of those processes from happening. So traveling, knitting flat, color work is fine, garter stitch, seams for structure, seams for adaptability. If you want a smaller arm into a bigger hole, or a bigger sleeve into the hole that you need, like it's a lot easier to adapt certain things in patterns, and I can talk more about that in a future episode. But just touching right now on the pros of knitting flat. So hopefully you've given it a try. I feel like a lot of people learn knitting flat and then immediately abandon it. But maybe you give it a shot for your next project. Hope you enjoy the sock sprint coming up, or maybe have started when you've seen this, and have a great rest of your July.
Thank you, Kelsey. I think that's a really interesting conversation to be having, whether you like knitting in pieces or not.
Yeah.
How do you feel about it? Do you tend to not do it?
I'm open to doing it. I took a class with Patty Lyons like a year and a half ago, and she's very pro knitting in pieces and the effect you get from seaming. And I think most of the sweaters I don't know that I've ever knit a seamed sweater.
I think I have, but I can't remember which one. But yeah,
I don't think I have. I would be open to it. I think that there are. It sounds like there's lots of benefits to it. I just happen to usually pick
in the round. Well, I think they're much more prevalent in today's knitting. A hint though would be if you're going to be knitting something in cables, you might as well do it in pieces because you are purling a lot in cable knitting.
Yeah.
So you're either going around and purling and knitting, or you can go back and forth and it's the same difference.
Yeah, like this one, because after the arms you split and you had to go back and forth and it was fine.
Yeah.
If I really wanted the sweater, I don't think it would stop me.
Right. Well, thank you, Kelsey. It was good to see you here. Appreciate that. So, Maggie, what do we have for shop news? I know that Rauma Finno Garn, you've been working on 6 packs.
Yeah, so we sometimes offer these, and they are a unique combination. We put together different color combos. It's colors that work really well together. You can knit them together. You can use this as a way of stash building for your color work stash. So here are some examples. This is the Strawberry Mojito 6-pack.
This is Northeast Coast. Also, I want to point out that these are priced at pre-tariff prices, which is good.
And this one is Campfire Embers. We have many more in the shop. If you want to stop by today. It's been really fun too. Over the years, we've seen a number of different projects particularly I remember seeing a few in the Facebook group where people had put together, I know there was one that knit a shawl using this.
I think somebody knit a vanilla sweater using it too.
Yeah, so I think that there are lots of unique creative ways that you can use the bags. Or certainly if there's a color you like, I think just mixing and matching.
And it's just good to build your library of colors. It's very good to interchange with Shetland Shetland wool, so Jameson and Smith or Jameson's. It's very good. It'll play with that nicely if you want to do that. And Maggie, we've had a restock of WoolDreamers. You want to tell us?
Sure. So what you're holding there is the Air Tee. This is a new sample we have in the shop, so if you're in the area, come by and see it. This is the Air Tee by Ozetta, and it's knit with WoolDreamers Sauna.
It's lovely.
Our sample is knit in the All Natural Notes colorway, which is the basic cream. I think this would be a really easy to wear tee. Interesting construction in the knitting, because I think you start up here in the back and knit this piece, and then you pick up and go down.
That's right.
And,
That's right.
It was fun hearing my sister figure out the construction on that as she was knitting our sample. Yeah.
And it feels really nice. This is a 50-50 wool cotton blend, which is nice.
Yeah. So colors of sauna, we have the notes colorway here.
Yeah, so like I said, this is a restock, so we got plenty. Where's the name on this?
Right there.
Thank
That is
you.
the Ozetta colorway.
This is Ozetta's colorway. Oh my gosh, I'm getting purple and red.
This is the Sarah Chef, which is like a light taupey.
Green, or growing.
1985.
Fratelli, which is the lovely bluey lavender color.
This one is page 149.
Guthrie, gray, warm gray.
And Atlas, which is a lovely like orangey red.
And this yarn is woolen spun, so I love it anyway, but it's got a really nice hand on it, doesn't it?
Does.
Yeah,
It
it's been
does.
very popular. Happy to have that.
And then Mota and Cautiva. Cautiva is their sport weight wool, and we have some new, they broadened their color line, so we brought in some new colors, and they're the same colors, but available in both Mota or Cautiva, depending on what weight you want to work on.
So this is sport. What weight is that?
Mota is, they say it's a DK. You can stretch it. I've knitted at a worsted weight.
Yeah.
So it's quite a, I think part of it's the woolen spun. You can really got a lot of flexibility there.
Yeah, which is great. So this one is 010G. It's a nice gray.
Yeah.
Actually,
and it's the same.
It's got a little bit of a pinky undertone, doesn't
It's
it?
got a little bit of an undertone there.
Yeah.
And then this one, I really like this one. It's like a peachy heathered. It's 7G. Very nice. This one's a nice Merlot color. 13G.
So I think your is a 100-gram ball and mine is a 50. Yeah, mine's 50.
Yeah.
You're 100.
Yeah.
Okay.
A nice true red. We've been asked, I think people have been wanting to see this added to the line.
Fire
so we
engine
brought it
red.
in.
Yeah.
757.
There it is. Great
It's
for
really
holiday
nice.
knitting as well.
Yes, well, that'll be here before we know it.
I know. It's true.
And then 535G, which is another shade of green.
Yeah, lovely.
It's really nice.
Yeah. So those are all new colors. to
Yeah,
us?
and they're available in the shop now.
Nice. All right. Well, enjoy those.
In addition to all the other colors available from Mota and Cautiva.
And we also had a restock from Retrosaria in Portugal, which is great. So I think we've got some colors to show here. Goodness me, there's a lot. We got a big order in. Not too soon either, given the tariff news, but we'll see what happens with that. All right, so, but we have this yarn, so come and get it before it goes out. All right, so Mungo.
Mungo is Retrosaria's worsted weight wool cotton blend. I always forget the exact ratio on this. It is a 50-50 wool cotton.
And this color is 14. It's a nice sort of purpley lavendery.
This one is 02, which is a really nice gray.
That's 09.
And 09, a slightly darker gray. You can see them together.
And this is 05, which is a nice buttery yellow.
Here, let's see.
There we go.
All right.
So that's Mungo. And then we have Brusca. Now this is what I knitted my sweater in under the air tee. This color, if you want to knit it too, is C587. And we have lovely little bits of veg matter in there, all the way from Portugal, which I just knit into my finished object.
This one is B580. It's a lovely mustardy color.
This is BC, and it is a nice marled natural cream and brown.
This is C584. It's a lovely heathered rose color.
B570, a nice blue.
C574, which is a darker green.
A583, really pretty.
I love this apricot-y color. A582.
This is simply B. B for boy.
A568, which is a light blue.
Love that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
so
this
these,
yarn would be great for color work too.
yes, I agree with that. I think it's just a lovely yarn to knit with. Really
Yeah.
nice in the hand. Lots of texture going on. What is this here?
This is Vovo. This
Yes.
is their, I believe this is a worsted weight. Worsted? If I'm wrong, we'll put it on the screen.
They have some of the best labels.
Mm-hmm.
And their tagline is knit better, wear longer, waste less.
Mm-hmm.
So we're all about that. This color here is 29.
This one is 28. Nice evergreen.
20, nice cream.
06, which is a lovely heathered deep pink.
22, nice pink blush.
09, which is a lovely red.
10, and this is sort of a goldy brown.
03, which is a nice blue.
And lastly, 1, which is a nice brown.
Nice.
Really nice. Nice hand on this too.
Yeah. Yes, this one I believe is a worsted spun, so it's smoother. It's just really nice.
And then lastly, oh, I haven't seen these new ones. So we have some Mondim, which we love. It's their sock yarn. It's 100% wool. And this color is C574. Really nice.
This one is A583, so a nice dusty pink.
A575, nice pale gray.
This one is C582.
I love how this feels. C584, which is a nice sort of mauvey,
Yeah.
tilting over to brown.
And Mondim is, you could use it for socks, but don't limit it in that way. I think you can also, this makes great sweaters,
Yeah.
Shawls, there's so many things. And you get, generous yardage and 100 gram skein.
This is 400. It's the marled cream and brown together. I love these.
I know, these are so fun. This is M96.
Is that a self-striping?
I think it does do a striping effect on there. I don't think it's full stripes.
Okay. M82. Look at this one. Oh my goodness. And I love that too. These are new, huh?
Newer to us. Yeah.
New to me. I love it.
And then this one is 213. We've had this multi. This one kind of does do, I've knit with this type before, and it'll do like thicker stripes.
Yeah.
But they're a little bit speckled in them.
Really fun.
Gudrun Johnson has her Boosta socks that you could hold, like use this in the place of the multi.
Right.
And that. It's just fun.
That is awesome. All right, I think that's it for Retros Daria.
Yeah.
So check them out while they're here. That's really good. And then what do we have?
I think this is really exciting. So we've had designer Jennifer Beal has recently released her Cahill Point sweater,
Yes.
which features Rambler,
Yes.
which is really awesome. And she has used in her original Rambler in Lake, and then that gorgeous colorwork detail along the side of the arm is Lake and Winter Sky.
Yes, we'll put a picture of the design there. It's
so
really spectacular.
Her designs are amazing.
So are these?
So we put together a couple alternate colorways as well. So the Lake and Winter Sky is available in the shop.
Of course, you can always select your own because we have it in stock.
Yeah.
This is Blue Spruce with the natural.
Yeah, I think that would look nice. And then this is a colorway we've put together too. You've got Aster with Mary Bells in the that would be used in the colorway.
Yeah.
Color work.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Go ahead. Yeah, really nice. So go with one of our pre-organized sets or pick your own.
Or pick your own colors. Yeah. So
Thank you for designing with Rambler, Jennifer. Appreciate that. It looks fantastic.
okay.
Yeah. Okay. So we talked about books. New Lina order.
Now on pre-order from Lina is one of their latest books. It is called Field Notes 20. It is 20 textured knits for everyday beauty by Olga Putano. And we can put the cover here. You can see more photos in the book on the pre-order page in the shop. this one, it looks like a really good book. I don't have a date here for when it releases, but as soon as it releases, we will ship it out to you.
Coming up soon.
Yeah.
And we have Denise DeSantis' new book coming out, No Fear Sock Knitting. She is a friend of the shop, and we're so delighted for her coming out with this really lovely book. We have been able to see it, but it's on pre-order right now, so we're not showing it, but just know that it's fantastic. And she's actually coming to visit the shop, and she will be teaching her Heels 101 class here at the shop. She'll be here doing that at the beginning of August, that weekend.
Yep. And then last but not least, we do have behind us our frangipani cones.
Yeah.
There has been a modest price increase on the frangipani. Part of that is coming from frangipani themselves. Their production costs keep going up for many of our vendors. And so between production costs and additional tariffs, there was just a slight increase. It is still an amazing value for this wonderful yarn, and we have recently had a restock arrive.
Yes. So come and check that out, all you Guernsey knitters. And should we announce another winner before we call this good?
Our second winner today of a $25 gift card is at Loving Life 5554. And they say, perfect start to my Saturday morning. Grab my knitting, a delicious cold brew coffee, and the Woolly Thistle Shopcast. What more can one ask for? Thank you. I enjoyed all of it. Thank you so much for being here. At Loving Life 5554. If you can email us at info@thewoollythistle.com, put prize winner in all caps, we will get you your $25 gift card.
Yes, congratulations. And if you'd like to be in the running to be picked as a winner next time, all you need to do is leave us a comment down below, give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and you too will be in the running. So let's see, I think we have Kim doing some yoga today. She's doing some standing work for mobility, which all of us, you know, can use a little help with. So we're going to let her take us out.
Yeah.
I think I finally cooled down. Sorry about that. And but we'll see you next time if we don't see you in the shop before then. So take good care. And I think all that's left to say is, if you go out,
Take your knitting.
bye.
Hi Woolly Thistlers! Welcome back to another installment of Yoga for Knitters. My name is Kim and I am a yoga teacher and a knitter based in central Alberta here in Canada. Today's class is all about mobility. So it is a total body mobility exercise practice that takes about 11 minutes. Really easy to do, but boy, it's powerful. You're going to feel so energized, so awake. Your joints are going to feel limber as when you finish this practice. I promise it's going to make you feel good. So let's get started. We're going to do this whole practice standing. So to begin, start in the middle of your mat and find mountain pose, where your feet are placed directly under your hips, which are directly under your shoulders. Your spine is nice and neutral, and all four corners of your feet are bearing weight equally. Okay, wonderful. We're going to start to twist by just swinging the arms like dead weight from side to side. Bend your knees a little bit. If this feels terrible on your knees, perhaps you want a wider stance. Otherwise, stay here and just flop and twist. Pay attention to how it feels in your spine. So we're moving our backbone. And we're moving all the things that attach to our backbone. Good. Come to rest. And we're going to move our right arm up and our left arm back and then switch, just like that. Can add a little bounce if it feels good. Just get the shoulders moving, get the chest moving. Get the ribs moving, and a little bit in the hips and knees too. Feels good, it's lots of fun. This is a practice where you can be playful and smile. Good, hi Brian. Take the arms out and cross, one way and then the other. Listening to your shoulders. Sometimes we have shoulder injuries and extending past the frame of the body is a little painful. We don't want pain. Just do what feels good, what feels light, and what feels fun. All right, and then arm circles. We're doing our back crawl first. Moving all the way up from the hips into the shoulders and through the arms. And opposite direction. Can you feel your abdominals engaged? Your core needs to be tight to keep you supported as you move through space. It feels really, really good. Okay, so I don't know about you, I'm feeling my shoulders, they're definitely awake. Right, open the arms up to the sides and rest with your palms facing upwards. We're going to do a little bit of flossing now. Take the left ear to the left shoulder, then bring the right arm in. Then bring the right arm out. Then try to point your fingers down towards the floor. Yeah. Good. Switching sides. Right ear to right shoulder. Bring the left arm in, left arm out, and then reach the fingers down towards the floor. Each side is going to feel totally different. Left ear to left shoulder. Right arm in, right arm out, and fingers towards the floor. Switching ears, right ear to right shoulder. Left arm in, left arm out, and fingers to the floor. Back to neutral, shake it out. Nice work. And stay in our mountain pose here and bring that stretch all the way down the spine. So arms come to rest behind your head as if you're, just totally relaxed listening to a good story. Okay, and then just the neck is going to tilt down until your chins multiply and you feel a stretch wherever it needs to happen. For me, it's the lowest part of my back, but every day it's a little different depending on where things are tight. Just breathe it here, hold the core in, nice and strong in the abdominals. And then release the arms, reach up, look up, small back bend, pushing the hips forward a little, lifting the heart, holding it here, engaging the core, and then slowly bringing the arms down. All the way back up to mountain pose. Good. It's more intense than you think. Let's do it again. Hands behind your head. Let's interlace the fingers in the opposite way, like you're holding hands with a stranger, and then tilt the head forward until you feel a stretch. Breathe into the stretch. Let your ribs and your lungs help. And then engage the core as you sweep the arms up, come into a light back bend. Hold that strong abdominals and then sweep the arms down. Back to mountain pose. Shake it out. Beautiful. Now we're going to take your hips a little wider and come into some hip circles. Going slow. This is a great one to do with your eyes closed because you have really good balance right now. So close your eyes and just really focus on the rotation of the bone in that joint. What's happening with the SI joint as it moves, and even how the spine is moving as you circle around in the hips. Good. Opposite direction. We carry so much tightness in our low back. This is a wonderful way to release some of that. If you like Latin dancing, then you know what I'm talking about, because there's a lot of this kind of movement, albeit faster, in Latin dancing. But if you do it, you'll notice your low back just feels open and happy and free. So that's what we're aiming for here. Good. All right, that feels good. Feet together or mountain pose, so not quite touching. Bend the knees, and we're going to do some knee circles. I'm not sure which type of dancing this is from. To me, it seems like something you might do in like preschool, you know? If you're happy and you know it, circle your knees. Something like that. All right, go in the opposite direction. Don't worry about the pops. As long as nothing hurts, then we're good. We are teaching our knees to be lubricated, helping the synovial fluid to squirt all over into that joint. Beauty. And you notice your ankles are also following suit? Good. Come on up. We are going to work on the hips now. So bring the right foot forward and start to, with your balance, circle your ankle. And as you do that, you're going to open the hip all the way up in an arc until the leg is behind you. Woo! Tap it down. Ready to go in the opposite direction? Circle the other way and bring the leg forward. It takes so much thought as you put your foot down. You don't realize that you were balancing. Let's try the other side. Left foot lifts. Circles, circles, circles. All the way around in a hip arc. To the back. Put it down. Lift it up and we'll go in the opposite direction. Circling and moving. Good. Let's switch again. So our weight is now on our left leg and we're just going to swing the right leg forward and back. Swinging the arms at the same time. Feels good. Get everything moving. Lots of flow here. All right. Switch sides. Left leg forward and back. Sweeping the floor as I come through with my foot. Ooh, and down. Hands to your hips. We're just going to do a few external rotations here. So up and out. Up and out. Good. Squeeze your core. You'd be surprised at how well that helps with your balance. If it helps too, you can always bring your arms out. Good. Shall we switch directions? Let's go back and in. Back and in. I was just doing one leg at a time. Good. Focus. Feels good. Lots of heat building, but not the bad kind. This is the good kind. This is the healing kind. This is the kind that enables better movement and mobility. Last one. Good. Reach up onto your tippy toes and swoop down. Up onto your tippy toes, whoop, and sweep down. Up onto your tippy toes, sweep down. Oh my goodness, it's harder than it looks. Sweep down, and we're gonna finish where we started. So back to mountain pose, and side to side. Slapping it all out. Feeling the circulation, feeling the heat. Noticing all of your joints. Your ankles, your knees, your hips, your spine, your shoulders, your neck. Everything is awake. Everything got a little bit of love. And now you're ready to have a wonderful day. Thanks for practicing with me, and I will see you again next month. Namaste.